It's midweek, and we're here again with head coach Mark Pavlik. Coach, you guys have Princeton and George Mason coming up this weekend. After a good weekend on the road last weekend, you'll be home. What can we expect to see this weekend?
Well, the Tigers suffered a loss to Harvard their last weekend of play, and they've gotten some good young talent. So Princeton is 2 years ago they were in the finals against us in the EIVA, and they're moving their program forward, and I think the addition of Cody Kessel is a big one for them. They've gotten a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. We're going to have to make sure that we win the serve and pass game and try to keep them very predictable. George Mason has always been a tough opponent in the EIVA. They've got their lineup's getting a little bit bigger with a couple of 6'6", 6'7" outside hitters, and Dentler and Quedall, and their blocking has always been their strong suit. As long as they've been involved in the league, they've blocked very, very well. So we're going to have our hands full if we can't get the ball to Eddie where we need it to be, because Mason will touch a lot of our swings and they'll stuff us too. So it'll be a fairly good weekend for us. EIVA weekend number 3, almost halfway through the EIVA slate of games for us. I think after this weekend, all that's left is St. Francis to get us through the first half of the season. Right now, playing those two teams at home, I think gives us the opportunity to try to make sure we put more distance between us and the rest of the EIVA field.
And these last couple of weeks, we've talked about how you've been able to rotate in a lot of your bench, use a lot of your players. Last week especially, you talked about Tom Comfort. Two names that were especially popular last year in the lineup, Jace Olson and Scotty Kegrice. Can you just talk about where they are so far this season?
Yeah, Jace is battling a labrum problem. He's been sidelined with that on his left shoulder, not his hitting shoulder. But we're going through the whole routine of making sure he gets diagnosed, and sitting there with our medical staff saying, okay, how do we rehab him? What do we do with him in practice and in matches? And so far, he looks like he's getting a little bit better. He's understanding what it is that he's got to do to make sure that he's prepared to play. And Scotty had a pretty good fall, and then he had mono over Christmas. And those of you that know Scotty know that he doesn't carry much extra weight around. And the mono just knocked him for a loop. I think he lost something like 15 pounds or so. And that really threw him back when we started the season. You know, Scotty at the opposite and outside hitting position last year, and he still is very capable of playing either one of those two positions. But right now, Peter Russell and Joe Sunder are playing really well, and Tommy and Nick are playing well at the opposite spot. So Scotty's kind of odd man out with that. But, you know, he's the one guy that has a volleyball body, long arms. He can block the ball. My guess is we're going to see Scotty make some contribution here the second half of the season.
Now, put into that recovery role, the two of them that they are right now, how are they responding? Are they still able to practice? Are they still able to come around and contribute?
Yeah, Scotty's been practicing, no issue there whatsoever. Jace, like I said, over the last couple of weeks, we've just kind of handled with kid gloves a little bit to make sure that we know what's going on with the shoulder, and I think we've got a handle on that now. So we'll ease him back into what he can do and how well he can do it over the next couple of weeks.
And this weekend on Saturday night, after your second match, you guys are hosting a special event, like you said last time, with seated volleyball. Can you just tell us a little bit about what that is and what we can expect from that?
Well, I've never personally witnessed a match, so I'm looking forward to this. It is what it says it is. Your butt is on the ground and you play volleyball. The net comes down to a much lower height. You can be a violation in seated volleyball is lifting your butt off the ground. So it'll be interesting. The U.S., the national team, lost to Brazil in the finals of a tournament in November that would have qualified them for the London Olympics. They have one more qualifier coming up in March. And I think we're going to see the U.S. Army team play, and I think it's just volleyball of another sort. And I think you're going to, certainly the crowd that has seen enough great volleyball in Rec Hall over the years with both our women's and men's team, this will be something that should be very interesting and a little bit different for them. So I'm looking forward to it and hope everybody else is too.
Do you think we're going to see you out there on your butt at all?
Probably not. I'm going to be tied up more than likely with my duties to the press and media after the match.
All right, well, we look forward to the weekend. Good luck.
Thanks, Kels.